everyone, Willow here. This week is sub week on starting out solitary and the topic is favourite spells. This is a little bit of a toughie for me because what my favourite spell is today may differ to what my favourite spell is tomorrow. And in actual fact, I do many different spells throughout the day that are my favourite. So I guess my favourite type of spell is the ones that I do in the moment. What that involves for me is just checking in with how I'm feeling and acknowledging that, and then looking at what's going around at that time, and then performing a spell in my favorite way at that time with whatever is around me. The intention may be the same or similar, yet the method in which I perform the spell is something that I'm more drawn to at that time, making it my favorite. So for example, I have two little ones. So, being the only adult around at that time and constantly being a mediator and that nurturing aspect and the mothering aspect and the list go on basically. So I do need certain things to get me through the day. Now in one of my videos on my personal channel, I have mentioned that I make a mummy blend incense. Taking the time out and putting everything together and imbuing it with my magic and my intent, that is my favorite at that time. And I also make myself a decent batch so that whenever I need to draw in that energy, my favorite thing to do at that time is to burn a little bit of that incense on some charcoal disc. That is my favorite thing. However, saying that, I may wish to draw in those energies later throughout the day. And my favorite way of doing that is having a conversation with the deities, whether it's a god or a goddess, and having a chat and drawing in certain aspects or certain energies that I need at that time. That's one of my favorites. Another example, when I'm out in the backyard, I may be drawn to a particular herb or a plant, or may do some gardening. That in turn is doing a spell, and that's my favorite at that time. I am doing it for a reason. I'm doing it for a purpose. I need to do it. It's my favorite. I may be drawn to simply just smelling some of the roses that I have, and that's a spell. And the beautiful thing about that is then I like to look at at a later stage why I did a spell a certain way, and it can give me a little bit more insight and clarity. And for example, smelling the roses is that self-love aspect. It's that acknowledging that I'm doing the best job as a mum as I can with what I've got at that time, and it gives me that that self-love in turn. So yeah, any spell that I'm doing, whatever spell it is that I'm doing at that time, is my favorite spell. There are other times where I'm running late to an appointment, with two little ones. That can happen quite a bit. And I'll work with the fairies to help me time-wise, to kind of, get me there in a timely manner where it doesn't have so much of an impact on physical time, yet kind of I enter this loop time, if that makes sense. That's my favorite spell at the time. Same with using the fairies to help me find a parking spot as I'm driving to wherever it is that I need to get to. And that's my favorite spell at that time. That instant magic I learnt through class many years ago and is so beneficial. Yeah, so I even love, my favorite spell would definitely also be the time where I'll say to hubby, I need X amount of time, and I get the opportunity to take out all of my ritual tools and be a little bit more elaborate. And yeah, that's my favorite spell at that time too. And then also It's spending time in coven and connecting energetically, you know, with other like-minded people, and creating magic is also my favorite spells. So yeah, everything is really my favorite spell. I feel that whatever it is that I'm drawn to at the time is my favorite way of doing it. And it's kind of like picking a favorite child. It's just impossible for me. Because any spell, I'm obviously needing some sort of energy, or I'm wanting to draw something to me, or wanting to let go, you know, helps me on a daily basis. You know, we're here at the end of autumn now, and we are approaching winter. So energetically, when I'm out and about with the little ones, out, you know, bushwalking or exploring or something like that, I'm reminded by nature, you know, in that moment, being present in that moment of letting go. And I may perform a little spell without any tools of letting go, whatever it is that I need to let go more of at that time, at that present moment. So yeah, magic definitely helps. And I think for me, every spell is a favorite spell. Sorry. Until my next video, sending you so much love.